everybody, this is Mariana. I'm back to do the vibes inside for you. This is going to be a new moon reading in the sign of Gemini, happening, it should be around today on the 18th of June 2023. So, actually I just started shuffling and now I have this one turning out or showing itself here. It says decision. So maybe you are making a decision, like a vital one about something. I want to say, well, Gemini is an air sign, right? And it's the twins in the zodiac. It's the magician in tarot. There is something about new tunes or something. New tone of voice, I want to say, or at least acknowledging that you have both, probably, right? The twins, that you have more than one voice, meaning that, yes, sometimes you are angry, and yes, sometimes you are not, right? And sometimes you are happy, or sometimes you are furious, and sometimes you are definitely not furious. You are most agreeable, right? Maybe you need to show this to someone, I don't know, or just showing it in general, that there's more to you. A decision to show more, perhaps, or to allow others to see more of you. Sometimes there are behaviors that would be the shadow element, right? That we are not showing due to all kinds of fears, or we feel guilty or we are shameful about it. I feel like with this Gemini, because you're the youngest air sign, right? You're the youngest, that's what we call it in the zodiac. The youngest air sign, but I also want to say some have to be the youngest and some have to be the oldest. It's not a bad thing, right? It just is. And again, as long as we live in duality, primarily see ourselves or compare ourselves, when we compare ourselves with others, we are in duality. But what if you're not comparing? As I say that, it doesn't matter if you are what we may call the youngest or the oldest. The oldest is an Aquarius energy, air energy in the zodiac. But because you are oldest doesn't mean that you're right. It just means that from their perspective, they see the world differently. They may have, different life experiences. They have experienced different things than you. But doesn't mean that they are like an oracle, right? That they know everything that there is to life. You could say that they are more masterful in the air element. An Aquarius can be very air-like, to the point that they are stubborn, right? That they can somehow keep the emotions out of it. The decisions they make, they realize there are emotions underneath it all, but they can kind of just put that aside and make a very rational, sometimes cynical maybe, or very harsh, or very direct, or very to the point decision about something. Maybe you, Geminis, maybe you have been struggling more back and forth between what is the right decision to make. Because there's always a pro and con, or an up and down, or a good and bad side to something. The curiosity of Gemini would take them in different directions, right? They're curious to know what's behind this door, and what's behind this door, and what if I did this, or what if I did that, or how curious that they were acting like that. Why are they doing that? Gemini, being the youngest air sign, is light. It's like it likes the easygoing stuff. Maybe there's a new tune to that. So either you are involving yourself in something a little more heavy, or you are actually lifting yourself out of something heavy towards something more easygoing. Not as, maybe you could say, deep, or not as emotional, not as confused maybe. Like, as I said, Gemini, it's like there's this debate between you and your twin, right? You can go back and forth with something to the point that it's confusing you what is actually the right thing to do, perhaps. But I feel like with the card decision coming out, it's like maybe you've made a decision regardless of whatever confusion, or regardless of whatever you could have been involved in. You're making some kind of decision. We say Gemini is about communication, the third house. This is also the voice for the little one, to the little child, to start talking, right? Using their words, communicating. And then again, how did people respond? How are people responding to your voice and what you're saying, right? How are they responding to it? Do they like what you say? Do they not like what you're saying? Saturn is retrograding right now, and Pluto is in Capricorn. For some, that may be a bit of a shake-up, maybe, for some. Pluto can be quite aggressive if you have Capricorn in your sign. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is retrograding at this moment. So you would say there could be a down the memory lane of Saturnian memories or experiences, that if the decision you are making right now, just make sure that the decision is not based on old anger, perhaps. Right? Are you making a decision out of old anger? Or is this a decision that is forward moving? Right? Maybe you feel like you do have to make this decision because of old anger, because of something in the past. Retrogrades usually takes us back back in time, similar situations that we have experienced before, always giving us an opportunity to react differently, mature, figuring out whether we want to handle these situations in another way. Where do these situations put us? Do we feel like we have a voice? Do we feel we can stand up for ourselves or say yes and no to the things that we want? So if you feel like like that somehow Saturn's maybe taking you a bit back at this time, and Pluto is quite like explosive, you could say. It's an explosive anger, kind of frustrated energy, or can be. Sometimes that is needed to break the change, right? Like you need the explosion to break the change of something. It has to become that bad and then poof, out of it somehow. But it can take you anywhere, depending on what you have experienced in your life. Maybe what planets are prominent for you. So personally, my Venus is in Gemini. Usually I've been very attracted to Gemini people, like Gemini suns, because Venus is the love, right? This is what I would be drawn to. So for me personally, of course, I am also considering something, whether these twins that I have been attracted to, they do have another side to them, right? That I may not have seen from the get-go when I met them, you know? Like people always have a face, a front, a mask or something, right? I have, or had at least. I'm trying to not have it, but well, we are existing in this still dualistic world, right? So I'm trying to not make it dualistic for myself, to somehow embody both. Maybe that's a thing, that you're kind of seeing both of your faces or both of your sides. And there is an ability or a choice right now with the new moon that you can, I don't know, or integrate, or that they can maybe, you know, work together, or I don't know what that means for you. Saturn is the great teacher of the zodiac, big planet. But also an outer planet. So where Gemini is in your zodiac is interesting. Whether it's what we call a personal planet or an outer planet. Saturn is regarded as an outer planet, meaning that it relates to things outside of yourself. Further away from your core, you could say, the core you, further away. But still a big, very big planet, so it can have a big impact. Maybe usually from an outside thing that happens, boom, suddenly it's apparent in your life. So again, it depends. The personal planets would be, of course, sun sign, moon, Venus rising, Mercury. Not everyone speaks about Mars, but I like to include Mars as well. Why am I saying this? There could be something about your own stuff and then other outside stuff. Okay, let's have a look at this. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, this. Okay, I'm just turning them for you so you can see this. New moons have the opportunity to work with, you would say, manifesting new or choosing new. And we had the decision card that flew out when I was pre-shuffling here. So I'm just going to show you the cards here. This is the Emperor. Major Arcana. This is a very successful masculine energy. And Gemini, you are a masculine air sign. We have victory over here. So like these two, they go together, right? They go together. It's like becoming or achieving the level of Emperor status here is that's quite unique here. It takes quite an effort to become an emperor. I want to say a real one. An emperor is a leader. This is a king of kings. The emperor here rules kingdoms and therefore rules kings. It says stability, efficiency, taking charge of a situation, and ambitious plans. Definitely something where you are wanting some kind of victory here. And the new moon has the ability to like open a door for something here. So you can put out manifestations that are leading you towards this. And here you see, here we have wind. This is air element. Supporting, you would say, the emperor here. Sometimes the emperor has to make like tough decisions, regardless of what he feels, right? Because he's in charge. If this is someone who is elected, right? Elected emperor, you see, like, people have trusted in him to be the one who can sit here. An emperor sometimes have to make like really tough decisions. Using their mind here. Using their mind. Using the air element. and sometimes without too much emotional influence, because it's if you put your emotions in there, in the midst of it, it can be harder to make the decision, to choose to go your own way here. We have Archangel Uriel. Uriel usually stands for change. He's an awakener. So there is an awakening possible here of an emperor, the emperor. This is Aries energy. So maybe you have Aries in your chart, or it simply means that you are, embracing an element of fire here to kind of go forward. It takes a certain element of willpower, you could say, to go forward. The Emperor, I would mean, talks about, like, it could be this idea of taking leadership in your life, awakening a divine masculine here. The Empress, as I've talked about, she has showed up in some of the other readings. Her match is the Emperor. So an Empress would not be attracted to or find someone less than an Emperor here, like a match for her. She has her own thing going for her. Why should she step into a situation with someone who is not her match? So maybe that's why the Emperor here is here, right? That there is a desire perhaps to step up or to make yourself known. He can be quite successful. As I said, he could have his own business here, or at least this idea of a developed masculine energy with, like, good intentions, I want to say. With the Victory card here, there's a certain element of success level reached, like accomplishing victory. And being an emperor is, it's like you have overcome something. The opposite of victory is failure, right? So it's like, or the emperor here only can see himself as an emperor if he has victory in some level with something. Victory for me also talks a little bit about competition, right? That there's something you have been up against that you have won over, or you won. Otherwise, you wouldn't have or feel victory here. Something, it's almost like, when I look at the card here, the next card out here is called the Violet Flame. What I see here, it's almost like that something has been guided to you. And because you are now holding that in your hand here, you have the ability now to hit the bull's eye, like to really get success or to really nail something here. So because something has been awakening you perhaps here, it's suddenly in your hand, it's available. Now you have the ability to tune that through your body here and hit the bullseye on something. Again, I feel this is the feeling of victory. that it's like something has been granted to you, or you realize something, and because of that you are now taking action towards your victory, perhaps here. The right hand is the left hand here. Her left hand, that is the feminine side. So you would say, because something has been granted or realized through your intuition, perhaps here, you are now able with your left hand, with your right hand, which is the masculine side, to do something that hits the bullseye. You see? So it's like, because of, I want to say, an awakening state with Uriel here. We have two purple cards here at the table, and we have two, you would say, somewhat similar coloring again here with these two cards. So if we talk about yin and yang energy, there's definitely something, because the feminine part of you somehow has reached a certain level. You are now able to channel that through the body to the yang, to your yang, and with your yang you can now hit the bullseye. And that would mean that you are awakening, or you have been awakening, maybe an inner emperor here, to take action and to make sure there is this stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation, making a decision, and having the ambitious plans here for you, right? And how you did it is by something here is airy. So you have used air element here, or you are using air element to have to hit the bullseye, to get clarity, to figure something out, maybe from being rather blurred and not seeing the potential, or the clear picture. Maybe it was like blurred at some point. You couldn't, the blurred vision of something, but still using that element here, and now it becomes so clear, right? It's just in front of you. So the new moon seems to want to tell us that by really using the air element here in you, wherever your Gemini is, we all have Gemini somewhere in our chart. You can have a certain element of, I want to say, victory here. I talked a little bit about it I just made the Sagittarius reading, and it was a little bit not quite the same, but definitely something that was out of reach at one point, and now it seems like it's here, or it's available. And Sagittarius is your opposite sign in the zodiac, so maybe look at the Sagittarius reading, and maybe also look at the reading called something like Patience, because I had strong Sagittarius energy there as well. And an impatience was at that point. It was an impatience. Someone was impatient. I think that these cards are definitely talking about how you, someone here, you, all of you, I feel like, can somehow maybe use the knowledge here of the violet flame to know that if you are able to work with both sides of you, the yin and yang, or as I said, the twins, the two sides of you, the shadow and the more well-known you, or what you know about yourself and your shadow, if you can somehow combine them, you can have you can step into your most truest power. But that may mean that you need to work with your that you need to change your perception about something. You need to change your ways, or you need to have a new tune, or a new tone, or a new voice, or maybe also a bit of an identity shift. Again, I see her a bit blurred here, right? That it's like she's there, but it's not that clear. And it's a little bit like, what is it that you want, right? If you somehow could be the emperor here, if you could become the leader of your own life and you had all things available, if you became the top manager of something, what is it you want then? Because people do often want this, right? They want to be, maybe they want to be in charge here. If I could only be this, then everything would solve itself out. But would it? Like, again, if of course we like our own leadership in our lives, be able to make our own decisions and go forward. But what is it then that you want to do exactly? Maybe that has also been a thing that you didn't know. And now it's like that's part of the victory, that you actually now do know what it is that you want to use your crown for, right? That if you have this, what is it you want to use it for? So there could be an opportunity to, with this new moon, to become much more clear about, first of all, like establishing this inner masculine here, awakening that one, but also really feel things here. And if you have so much power, usually an emperor like this doesn't just get here by chance. Right? In old days you inherited maybe this title, but today it's like, no, we don't really get here just by chance. There's things to be understood before you can, and known and learned before you can become this emperor here. How is he acting? What is he doing? What is he using his time for? What is his belief system, right? The air here. What is his belief system? What are his priorities? He says here, ambitious plans, right? Stability and efficiency. Taking charge of a situation. there is an opportunity to take charge of some kind of situation that could be a bit tumultuous maybe, or where in the past it seemed like maybe you did not take that charge. Maybe you were a bit, like irresponsible or unreliable. So if this was the Emperor here, years back, it was a bit unclear or maybe more tumultuous, whereas now it may be more structured and more, as I said, it's like something has revealed itself here. And it's like it's coming from, here we have the eye, right? We could see the all-seeing eye. Maybe this is a representation of God, your third eye, your higher self. That is just slowly but surely here granting you some kind of knowledge, awakening you to something. She's looking at it, right? She's quite fascinated by it and very looking at it here. And then, and that is captured by the left hand, the feminine side. The right hand she's now using to hit a bullseye on something. Finally seeing something, perhaps. Finally understanding what maybe a tumultuous situation has been about. That it was about you stepping up here, right? And really becoming the leader of your own life. I'm not saying you're supposed to maybe like run a state or become like a politician, a top politician, or that you have to run a country. That's not what I'm saying. The Emperor card can talk about your own personal leadership, like knowing the fact that you have to take charge of your own life, that nobody is coming to rescue you or something, right? That there's a victorious thing here going on from something that may have been a bit unclear to now seeing it so clearly that that is what is going to feel like a success in your life, right? That could be the victory. That you hit the bullseye on something here. You hit the bullseye on something. Hit the jackpot on something. Because you listen to the yin part of you, your intuition, that you trusted it, you went for it, or you allowed it to be like an advice in your life, right? And because you did that, you're now seeing a change in your masculine side. You're now seeing how stronger you may feel, right? How the masculine part is stepping up. But it's interesting because there's something here about the yin and yang. It's almost like if the yin is not present here, like if you didn't have this intuitive download that is giving you ideas, that is giving you, that's what the feminine is. We call her the muse sometimes, right? She's creative. She never sees obstacles, right? The feminine part is creative and fluid. It wants to go where it's possible to go. If there's a stone it will go around it, right? It's not fighting it. It's not trying to blow it up or something. It's just simply just smoothly going around it, and then it continues. It's like all these like blocks in the road is not really something that the feminine cares about. It just simply moves around it. Maybe you are realizing something here that, well, I want to say some men, they really need a woman in their life to kind of keep them together. They can't seem to build or to keep themselves together unless there is a woman present somehow. The woman is kind of the base or something, right? She represents this, the womb, maybe we call it here the violet flame, like the flame of the home, right? This is the maybe you're realizing here that maybe the worth of the feminine, right? The worth of the feminine, maybe of a feminine. I've had the Empress come up in some of the other readings. Let's see if I can remember. Libra, definitely. And where was it? And Libra is about the scales also. Libra is about close relationships. It's Venus energy, definitely Empress. But there was another one. Did it come up in Gemini reading also? I'm not quite sure, but maybe you need to go back and just scroll through the videos if you're interested to look at it. It's just that if it was in the Gemini reading, it would actually astound me a little bit, because it came out, the Empress came out in a sign that was masculine. So it could have been yours, actually. I don't remember now. But the point is that the feminine, the value of the feminine, what the feminine brings to the table, is maybe what's actually coming in here. Like that could be like a download, right? That the feminine has a certain quality to it, and because of that light, that beauty, or the heart they have, the compassion, or the forgiveness, or whatever they bring here, it's allowing the masculine to really step up. Like, this is where we see the best of the masculine, right? I want to put that forward out, or just send that out as well, because there's definitely something about the two sides here working together. And we have the victory card. I don't see it necessarily as like just getting a gold medal. It's a bit more than that. It's like, because you realize something here, and you are allowing them to work together here, or you are you're seeing someone's value here, and how much it helps you, this or the other part of you, to evolve and really take a step up. And it's like, if there is a feminine present, sometimes the masculines also really want to step up. If you have a man cave with you know, let's say there are 4 males living there, 5 males living there. Sometimes it's not tidy. Sometimes it's, and the beard is growing, you know, it becomes very, there's nothing wrong with beards if you know, do like it, it's like, it can be more messy, like it, because the masculines do not really care about keeping the home. Like the masculine is not built for keeping the home, right? It's like the feminine is built, the feminine part is, I hope you get my point, but the feminine is definitely more equipped and more interested in the home. I know we are all different and we have all kinds of energies influencing us, but there is something about if you have a man cave, it can be more untidy if there is no woman present. If there's one woman present, they will do more to keep her happy, right? It's and if she says we have to tidy up, we have to do something, we wanna clean this, or you should take a bath, or now it's time to cut that beard, or she's a reminder of something that is more here. I'm not saying like really unrealistic clinical cleanliness. It's not like that. I'm just. It's kind of inbuilt, I think, that most males they kind of step up if there's just the language also, like the swearing and the cursing and maybe more. I don't know. It's different, right? If there's just one woman present, it's like the gentleman comes a little more forward, and the caveman exists when she's not there. You know, it's and maybe it's like suddenly realizing someone's worth here, realizing that if this is not present in my life, but if I take all of this away, it would be harder for me to hit that bullseye. I can't step up. I have a harder time stepping up here. That's why it has been blurred, perhaps. Maybe she wasn't there, the Empress. But maybe she wasn't there, the Empress. But she is, something here is calling, perhaps, here, for someone to step up. Like, right, your own something in you, if this is an inner process, again, depending on your planets where they are, right? But maybe it's an intuitive thing that has been working in you for a long time. The feminine is known for being compassionate and understanding, right? And loving and caring. Maybe it's about self-care here, that self-care is opening the door to something else in you. And that is the true victory, right? It's a feeling of being, of a union between something here, between these two energies. That an emperor is stepping up and coming forward, you know, or it is finally ready to work on something, where in the past it may have been more blurred and, as I said, more unreliable, more man cave like. Now he's here, right now he stands here, well shaved and he's ready to do something here. He's ready to listen to. She's the creator, right? The feminine is the creator. She has the womb. She is the life giver. So maybe it's about an inner process where you're listening more to something here. And then you're using another part of you. The air element is more masculine. So you're using another part of you to figure something out where you can hit a bullseye and have maybe literally ambitious plans here of, maybe monetary gain or power or something here. But that's what I feel like. So the victory actually, and we have a big her here, like this is a woman. Like maybe you're realizing that the victory you have as an emperor here is very much related to her. If she has not been there, it wouldn't have been possible. Like if that's what it's like. This one is realizing, oh my good, and because I'm now connecting with this part of myself here, I'm now able to awaken my inner leader. Like she's the healer, right? The healer part of you, or a person, an empress, perhaps she is the healer. She has all the feminine qualities to her because she is shining that light here. He is healing. Like he is healing and becoming more ready to step up here and really take that place as an emperor here, a protector, provider, inspired by her, right? Inspired by her love here. And her not giving up, that she didn't give up on him. Maybe that's something you're realizing at this time. Maybe that's the other side of the story, or that maybe you have seen someone in a certain light, and now it's changing because you are suddenly realizing something here. That could be why the decision card is out, because it's like it feels like a triumphing decision. It trumps something that was before. As this blurred state of being is now trumped by the emperor state. It could be an inner thing, it can be an outer thing. Like you're realizing a person here is actually just as much to celebrate as not only the emperor here. If someone has really succeeded in something, it's not just his effort. There's very much an effort here as well. That is very much to be celebrated also, right? That's what I feel like. If this energy had not been very clear from the get-go in what it was looking for, wanting, it could be the feeling of an empress calling, your inner empress, or an empress calling your emperor forward, right? It's like she's not giving up. Like she's very clear here. She has been standing in front of a very unclear emperor here, with maybe a distorted mindset, right? Unclear of seeing their own worth or something. But this one is steadfast, right? They trust that this can be done. So they have been keeping, the space open here. They have been keeping everything in like a brewing womb, you could say, of creation, right? And now it's like someone is seeing it. It's kind of landing in their hand. It could be that you are gifted with some kind of, you're realizing that you are very good at, creating something with your hands, building or something. Writing, painting, I don't know. You're doing something with your hands. It could be Reiki healing or something, but take it how it resonates. It's like you're gifted with something here. You have always been gifted, but maybe you didn't know. It was unclear here, right? Now it seems a little bit like that it's kind of coming in here. Or maybe you have already, you have already known it, you have realized it, that what it is that you have here is special, and it can lead you to the victory of managing something or having some kind of leadership here. That you are in charge of something. Your own life perhaps, or like really stepping up and becoming, as it says here, stability and efficiency, to take charge of a situation and having these ambitious plans for maybe your family, yourself, but definitely something that is stable and efficient. And maybe also easy, because Gemini wants to be more easy. It's an easier going energy. But it's like there is this idea of maybe realizing that there's not just I'm not quite on my own. Actually, I have a co-player here, or I have something that I haven't, there's something in me that I haven't awakened. And now it's coming forward, right? And you're seeing that potential. That would be like the new moon. Like use this portal of these 3 days to just put it out there. Make the manifestations, write them in first tense. I am an emperor, or I am my own emperor, right? I am balanced. My yin and yang is balanced, right? And or whatever this could mean for you. I have met my empress, or I have met my emperor. I am in union with, I'm united, I have united these energies, things like that. Again, it is an attempt to get out of the third dimension, where you have good and bad. It's either or. It's either or, kind of. But if you somehow manage to merge this, it's not either or. Now it just is like this. Right? It's not good and bad, it is both. That both of these are the reason why this is happening. And if you take them apart, you will have this. Right? And that's kind of the realization with these cards. Again, she is not the builder. Like the feminine needs, you could say, him, or an inner part of you to be masculine in this world. If we are purely feminine, we will be passive. That's the feminine energy. It's passive in its nature. It's receptive. it has all the qualities of the womb, right? That it has to receive something for it to kind of slowly and surely creating something. If she can't receive anything, she can't like put in something into motion. So maybe she wants him to become active here. She's looking for someone to become active. Whereas she is more passive. So like this is very like we are not like that, right? We are a mix of this. We have all sorts of planets in our zodiac. We are a mix of feminine and masculine. Some definitely more masculine, some definitely more feminine. But we are a mix. It's not that we cannot as humans separate ourselves to be just this. That's quite difficult. Then we almost need to be in either like a totally newborn, or in a passive vegetative state, or we are just before dying. But that's when we sleep, we are in a passive, but still we can turn in this bed, right? But otherwise we would be like in a coma, or and we are not normally like that, right? That's and again, we are also not normally always constantly active. Eventually we sleep. Eventually we sit for a moment. Eventually we eat something by the table, right? Eventually we drop in a sofa. We're not all, well, with some children it may seem like that they are always active, but otherwise it's like eventually we will sleep. Eventually we will, but I feel like it's like this is the first card, right? That kind of that I put on the table. And with Archangel Uriel, like an awakener energy here, I feel like it's definitely something about realizing something. Getting an idea, and creative idea, and then putting it into motions, and somehow figuring out how to make it a bullseye thing, like hitting the jackpot, or getting yourself in the driver's seat here and really take action and become this leader or boss, it could be that you're mastering, like having your own business means that you may like educate yourself here. If you want to become your own boss, you need to know something about maybe accounting or tax systems or regulations of some sort, and maybe import, export, all kinds of stuff. But that's part of being in whatever area you're hitting a bullseye here. It's part of it, right? How to make a good business plan, or maybe whom am I supposed to talk to about that? Like that would be an emperor also, to take responsibility of getting this right, getting this stable and efficient, right? That will also be the one who takes action. If I don't know, I have to like contact someone who knows. I know how to get the advices, right? I take action on it. I'm active, I take action. I'm not passive, where this could have been a more passive, I don't know, maybe this is difficult. It's probably too difficult. I don't know how to manage this confusion. It could be something like, I probably can't figure this out, I'm not able to, or it's a more confused state. But I feel like realizing that maybe you need contact with someone who knows how to do that. Maybe that's what the decision is about, that I want to ask someone, or I want to work with someone, or I need this and this advice, or if I want to have success or victory here, maybe I need to ask someone, and I think it's a she, a feminine here. Maybe someone, I don't know, maybe they have already done this, like they have already created this. They have already success here. Or maybe you're realizing, I wanna be like them, right? I wanna be like them, so maybe I need to ask them. Maybe that's what you're realizing here, right? That maybe I need the cooperation of them, or their influence. Maybe I need their influence here to somehow make something happen, so that I can become or have have the opportunity to stand here, strong here. But that I need someone's influence or knowledge or something here. I have to trust someone perhaps, or work with them. Again, this idea that there is I want to say a she, or at least a feminine energy here. That is, it's like whatever they are touching is successful somehow. And someone here sees that, the value, right? And how they want to become that, like they want to become this, but may not know how, right? Or at least that's what it has been. That's what it has been. Again, it is a new moon reading, so I'm maybe speaking myself more and more warm to the idea that collaborate with someone. That if you want to become this emperor, collaborate with someone who has already had victory in an area. Learn from them, right? Learn from them. That if you can have if you have somehow can see, understand some of this knowledge, and it can't come from your higher self, it can be your own intuition we talk about here. That if you somehow could have access to that, and you will see it so clearly here, then you can take action towards what it is that you truly want to build. And it will take some of this blurred vision away here. And that could be what the decision card is about, that you actually do make a decision. You do make a choice. So maybe the new moon here in Gemini is about making a decision, or maybe you're not making one. Maybe you're still here, not trusting it or not. But again, if you're not trusting your intuition, there's a part of you're literally shutting it down. It's like closing the door to it. No, I don't trust you. Like if a friend gave you an advice, would you trust them? If they had success in that area and they gave you an advice, would you trust them? But it's like you're closing the door to something because you are not seeing clearly here. Because you are not seeing clearly and you are filled up with fears and obstacles and no, it can't be, I don't have the money, I don't know how to do this, I don't know this and that. But that has nothing to do with them, has it? They seem to be in tune with something here, where over here it seems like someone is not, or not quite. They are realizing perhaps, oh, if I could have this, I could have that victory. But they are not seeing that it's maybe their own mind that is the biggest obstacle, right? That you have that over on this side we have the blurred vision. You may want to become like that, right? But it means you may need to ask them. You may need to work with them. Or at least understand how could they have this victory? What is beneath that victory? How was that possible? Because over here we may have, an emperor. Maybe they have established a some kind of firm or something. But it's all based on selfish decisions. And maybe an unclear, foundation or mindset. So to become the emperor, maybe you need to accept that there are things you don't know, and you need to ask, or you need help, or you know that she here, whoever she is maybe it's if these are in separation, like if this is a feminine and this is a masculine and they are in separation. Again, if this is two sides of your own story, it could be that one part is it's blurred because you're primarily living from another mindset. Perhaps maybe you're living from this mindset, you would like that one, but you do not have access to it yet. If you awaken and you prioritize to maybe meditate, like go into a more feminine state of being, it would come forward so you can see it. And you will probably have some of these downloads here so that you can actually look into it. If you are living primarily from this state of being, you will have a blurred intuition and you're not able to hear it. And even if you hear it, you don't trust it, right? This is where the mindset is blurred. Or it's blurred because you just want your masculine part, the male part, the masculine part, to be in power. So you're not listening to the feminine. She's kind of down here. You're not listening. So you may be in power, but are you happy here then? If you're alone. And is it easy to be here and effortless? And you have very little access to the feminine here. It's very blurred. And you actually don't trust it. So we just put it down here. We don't put our mind to that. We're not focusing on it. It's like there is it's like I feel like this new moon wants us to realize that both sides of the story has value, right? That both of them bring something to the table. Um, one part may bring money, right? One part brings emotional stability, the base, the home, as I talked about. And it may not be something you cannot exchange that into money, right? Again, that's what I feel like. Even though we have all the money in the world, it doesn't mean that you are happy, right? If she's blurred here, or this is unreliable, if you do have a feminine in your life, but she's unreliable, in and out, it's not really safe, it's more tumultuous. It's like the wind. One day it blows one way and the other it blows another way. There's no real cooperation here. They're kind of doing their own separate thing. Coming home from a day's work to a messy home, perhaps, it may not be that. It may not feel that safe. And I feel like there is this like realization that what if there was a more sufficient cooperation here? That's a reason if someone is in and out here. If someone is prioritizing most of their awake hours on work and they're never home, then it probably will become more messy here. If someone is prioritizing, yes, they are focusing on work, but they're definitely also focusing about the happiness of their wife, it will be a more successful marriage, perhaps. She will be like available. She will be there and invested, where here it becomes more blurred. The communication is blurred and unclear or confusing. The contract you may have is more blurred and where if you do invite your intuition in or a feminine here that I do feel like when this occurs, it's like this is where you see the worth of something, where it shines here. Of course she shines. Look at her, like she's golden, right? She's golden. When you realize that you have maybe a golden opportunity here, you can put it into motion and hit the bullseye here. But that's what I feel like. It's if you would only listen to her. She has something golden inside her. Like she is as I said, she's the womb, right? She can create life to something. Maybe she is the golden energy that actually makes him an emperor. If she was not there, if we took her away here, right? If we took her away, you would be left with this. So maybe there is an appreciation that is coming in, like an appreciation that, oh, I haven't really thought about this. But if they were not really there, if I hadn't been exposed to this, I would never had an outcome like this, right? I wouldn't have. And if they are leaving the scene, life becomes much more unclear, right? So maybe there's an appreciation for the, I want to say, the feminine. That she is somehow golden. To a situation. I said something in the beginning when I took the cards. It's like these two go together. Yeah, they do if they appreciate each other. Like if he appreciates her value and sees her value, and she appreciates and sees his value, then they go together, right? But if they are not, and they're separated, like this could be a power couple, I want to say, if they get together here, right? But if they are not seeing each other's worth, or if this one leaves here, right? He could be left a bit confused here, and not like his muse is gone, right? His muse is gone. So how to take action, what to build, what to go for, because most men actually do want to like build something for their queen, you could say. Of course, there are men that are more self-absorbed or selfish. They would build for themselves, yeah. But it may still be that they come home to a messy home because there's no one there to take care of it. It's not really that happy. It's not that warm. It may feel cold there. You know? So who are you building for then? But if she was here, it changes the picture entirely. Here we have, you could say, a cooperation here. An inspiration. And how to move forward. Planning and it is something about as above, so below, right? That what you can like take from the intuitive realm, you can manifest in the earthly realm. There's a cooperation here, where over here there's not. It's not the same. He may have something to learn from cooperation, right? Here. And this is the same thing, that this one can learn from someone else's example here. You may even say that this is like a higher self perspective that looks at you on earth here. And they may see how you may have struggled here. And everything seemed confused and very detangled and enmeshed and everything. And now it's like, because you're tuning more in, it becomes more and more clear. But it seems like the victory is definitely tied to the feminine here. That, again, it depends on what is true victory for this one. Is it power? Standing alone? Being uninfluenced by others? Or what is the victory? Is the victory about relationship? Finding true inspiration? Or passion? Like your true passion? Again, what is he? I did say that, didn't I? What are you working for? If he had all the power in the world here, he could do whatever all the money he could ever imagine here, what would you do then? What would you do? And it seems like it could be that maybe there is a little bit of an unclear plan here. Unless someone could come in with that inspiration, right? Again, look at her. She's silent here. She's not saying anything. Her eyes is closed. It feels to me like it's an intuitive message, like it's sent in the more meditative realm. It could be a feeling of intuition that comes here. That it's suddenly like you may be seeing something from a higher perspective, that suddenly it's like there is a better plan or a grander, ambitious plan. That this is not just to get yourself going, having a business, to manage your own affairs. Maybe you suddenly see a more ambitious plan, that you could make a more besides you're sustaining your own life. Maybe you see now that you could, like, this could escalate, right? You could expand this and create clear drinking water reserves in Africa, or like doing something bigger, more ambitious. Because it's creating money in a way that can be used for certain things. But in order to even get there, maybe you need to make a decision, right? You need to step up somehow. Maybe you want to help orphans, or like suddenly there is a bigger ambitious goal, but that bigger ambitious goal only comes in when you are connecting with her here. It's going to give you that plan that hits the bullseye. This is where you could say the success comes in, or this is the like like the final push, right? That gets you out of your chair and gets going towards something here. But that's the final push, right? To kind of step up your game here. This is what I have. Could I just have one more card that kind of... Yeah, just one more card, please, to just, I don't know, stress. Can you just stress this energy, please? Like, just give me one card that kind of just gets, yeah, let's get moving, or whatever this is. So I get 3 of Ariel. Do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavor, working with others in a cooperative manner. I said that, didn't I? Work with the corporation, appreciation. It's a time for great personal growth here in your career or artistic endeavor. The hand, you know, creating, building, writing, painting, sculpting something here. Do what you love. Do what you love to do. What are you inspired by, right? Working with others in a cooperative manner. 3 of Ariel. This would be the 3 of Cups. So a celebrative, celebrate with friends. Do what you love to do. Use your time on that. Instead of maybe, you know, like being all working, right? Not to say that it's a bad thing, but maybe your life has become too worked up or tied up somehow, and there's no time to have fun. Maybe that's why this is blurred. Because the feminine is like about joy and fun, and also compassion and love, and the free-flowing things, the easy going things. Also, it's celebrative, happy. It's definitely feminine, so it's maybe about expression, dancing, singing, artistic expression. So what is he doing here? He is maybe he's a craftsman here of, like, he has made a toy here, like a plane. Here we have a little, what is that? I think it's a jewelry box, and then there's this dancing ballerina in it. So he has all kinds of smaller or bigger projects going on is in his garage here. It seems like have fun, right? Go and celebrate, have fun with others, go out. Just do what you love to do. Let yourself be inspired by your intuition here. Maybe take an advice from someone and just have fun with it. It's a celebrative, fun time of great personal growth in career and or artistic endeavors, and work with others in a cooperative manner. Yeah. If people are very different than you, just know that they have something, right? They embrace something that you are not embracing. you could learn from them, right? You could see another side of the story. You could embrace that maybe they have something that could actually help in maybe they have some kind of knowledge that you don't have. Because people are different, or because people are I don't know, more chaotic perhaps. It doesn't mean that it's bad. The feminine energy can be quite chaotic. In a creative process, it can be chaotic. From from opening the first little or creating the first little wooden box here to putting in the ballerina, it could have been a process. Most creative processes, they go through failures, and then eventually you get to the victory, right? The golden opportunity. But there could have been failures before we get to it. The creation of the light bulb, right? Or the creation of an airplane. How many times did they not fail before they got there? The creation of a car. How many times did it fail before they got it right? Maybe that's also what this is, that the victory comes through failure, right? But just not giving up. If you stop every time you have, or you only have one or two attempts and you fail at it, and you stop the process, I feel like here is actually maybe an advice to not stop the process. Maybe just keep going. Because sometimes you need like a full-blown gymnastic gold medal achiever. She didn't come there by chance, right? She rehearsed and practiced and trained herself to get there. To become an emperor here, again, maybe it needs a certain level of training and mastery to get there. And achieving this definitely could be something that you should celebrate, right, with others, and be happy. Happy that someone appreciates your creation, right? Maybe you need the cooperative manner here could be that you need someone who knows how to sell this. Like how to get it online, perhaps, and sell it. Maybe you're the creator of the products, but you haven't managed to sell them much. Now you need to cooperate with someone who knows how to sell this so that you can become successful and earn the money and so on. Right? Maybe you are brilliant at repairing something. An old clock or toys that were broken or something. Maybe you're brilliant at that, right? And now you need someone to help you advertise your shop or something. But there is a decision that maybe you could do better if you cooperate with someone. Or at least you get their advice or their course, their training, right? Something like that. That's what I feel like. This new moon, it's like it wants cooperation, or it wants you to see the benefit of working with something that may be very opposite than you, but they have qualities, right? They know something. I guess maybe the Emperor is looking for his Empress, right? Because the Empress has something, right? She embraces something beautiful that you may need here. Or the other way around, again, the Empress has maybe lots of ideas, but she needs someone to, like she throws up all these balls of ideas, but someone needs to catch them and actually start building them, right? You could be the one, if you're the Emperor here, you're the one that catches the ideas and actually starts like making these toys, if that's what we talk about here, or this product, right? You're the one catching the ideas and say, oh yeah, let me go and build them. I go and build them. But again, she on her own would need him. She's passive. She just throws up the balls. And then she needs someone to catch them and say, yeah, I go and do this now. I'm going to do this now. She on her own is very good at creating. She has all the ideas of stuff. But it doesn't mean that if someone never picks up any of these balls, they just drop to the floor and they lay there. So she's just as dependent, right? She's just as dependent on him than he is on her. And that's what this card talks about. So maybe there is someone that you could talk to who can like catch the balls that you are throwing out here. Or if you are over here, you're used to catching the balls because you don't have the imagination. You don't have that inspiration yourself. So you catch the balls and you go do it, right? Just know that someone who is very good at this, they are not necessarily very good at like doing it, literally doing it, planning it, cutting it, hammering it, gluing it together, painting it, They have the ideas, but they don't necessarily know how to get it done. Or before they actually start doing that stuff, they have 10 new ideas. That's the tumultuous thing about creation. It's like it comes, that something comes and then it changes and then it changes and then it changes and then so you need someone to kind of structure it, plan it, maybe like write it down, certain steps, and literally get it done. Otherwise, you're just living in this creating world, but you never really get it done. So someone could have really brilliant plans here. And if you just could hear these plans, if you could hear them, you could go and do them, right? That's what I feel like is here. The feminine part of us usually comes through when we do something we love to do, something that is fun, like a hobby or something you did as a child, because it was impulsive. You got drawn to it because it seemed fun and it appealed to you somehow. So doing here, do what you love to do, is like do something that appeals to you. Something you are naturally drawn to. That's when you get in touch with the feminine part of you. It's more playful. Yeah. Do what you love to do, it's playful somehow. The feminine is playful. It's supposed to be kind of just playing around with stuff. We're just experimenting with things. Then we do this and then we do that, and oh, now we have a new color. Or oh, what if I put in sand, or I put in something? What changes? It's an experiment. It's maybe you should become more experimentative with what you are doing. As long as you just have a good time, you're playing, you are just having a good time. Yeah, this is what I hope this helped somehow. Some of you out there with this new moon, it's like there could be a side of you haven't really touched upon in a long time, and maybe just let it out and see where it's taking you. Follow that intuition. Maybe close your eyes for a minute and just feel into, but if I had everything available to me, what would I like to do now? I would fly on a cloud. Okay, then you put yourself in the sofa with the most soft cushions, and you just lay there and close your eyes and imagine that you are flying on clouds. Right? I don't know, but something like that, right? Just imagine. Could be what that is also. Use your imagination here, that the imagination is available. But it could be something that has been a bit blurred here. And if you somehow tune into it, you can have a fuller life. It could be more fun. Yeah, this is what I have. I hope this helped. Take care of yourself out there. I wish you the very best. Love and light. Bye-bye.